Hello everyone, this is Paula, and today we're going to finish the little things that I want to get done on this angel. So I want to show you, I went ahead and sanded it ahead of time because it was just a boring thing to do and it took forever. So I just sanded the edges and roughed it. Like, see, I pulled some off there, not on purpose, but I did. And then the modeling paste up here dried, and so instead of doing the whole head like the person I saw do this a while back, she just did the back of the head. I decided to draw some eyes and a little nose, a little praying eyes, and then I used this Distress Collage medium over the whole thing to kind of give it that really brown vintage look. Okay, so I'm going to work on getting the, oh, I left my drink downstairs. Anyway, hopefully I don't need a drink. I'm going to work on I'm going to put some black paint in here. We're going to do her eyes. And it shouldn't take as much as I got out. For sure, it doesn't take that much. I just got a little carried away, didn't I? Okay, so I'm going to try to use one of my favorite brushes. They don't sell them anymore because I tried to find one the other day, and I want to make sure you can see what I'm doing here. Let me zoom in just a tiny bit on the eyes. If I screw up, you won't see this video. I'm kidding. But I don't want to screw up on it either. Haven't done eyes. This is a tiny little thing. So I'm just going to put it in, put my little liner brush, which is a, let me see what size it is. You know, it's a 0. But the problem is they don't sell this brand anymore. So you might be able to find something like this online, but they have other very thin brushes too. All right, so we're gonna start right here on the eyelids, and don't expect to be able to do this if you've never painted easily, okay? It's not super easy. I'm using a liner brush because it's pretty much a very slim situation here. Okay, now, like I told you, we're going to be doing some arts and crafts, and this is part 2 of this. And we're going to work in my, also going to be working in my, what do you call it? Art journal. Went blank for a minute. Now, I'm not going to worry about flipping out eyelashes or anything, okay? Because they're just going to be pretty much straight down. Because you think about it, whenever you have your eyes down and you're praying or whatever, your eyelashes would not be sticking out. So this is very easy. I would, if you've never done it, I would just practice on some paper first. And you can also, see, this is thicker than I wanted it when I drew it. I knew it was going to be thicker, but you just work with what you got, right? I am going to kind of try to bring it more to a point like that. Anyway, I might as well do this side too, see? So they're both the same. But anyway, it's super easy. See how fast it's going? And I got way too much paint. Would we all agree to that? Usually if you have a space, you want to use a flat brush, you know, but in this situation, because it's so thin, I chose not to. You just keep going over it like you're doing a straight line. Okay? And I've got a little hair right here off my brush, or bristle, I guess I should say, that wants to make its own line. It wants to drag over into a space I don't want it to be. A little bit more. Now, let me kind of look at it straight on. Yeah, this one's much thicker. So what I'm going to do is just kind of add a little more at the bottom here. Just a little. Doesn't have to be a lot. Right? Just a little. Boy, I did get that other one. Lots more wide. The thing that's fun about when you do something like this and you do get it not perfect, every character will look different. So, you know, when you do the other one or two, however many you want to make, you would, you know, they'd all look different to a certain degree, like the eyelashes and stuff. Now I'm just going to do the nose. Now, on the cheeks and mouth, the mouth is under where her head is tilting down. So that's what you're imagining. I got to hold this up and see if they're close enough. I think it's pretty much, I mean, it's not about the eyes as much as it is just the praying angel. Or the angel, not really. She's not really praying right there, but she's got her eyes closed and she's praying, right? Okay, so I got a really thick eyelash there. See, when you start doing too much, that's when you end up making the biggest mistakes. At least that's what I found. Now, I still feel like this is bigger than, or smaller than the one on the other side. But I'm going to stop so I don't mess up everything. And for some reason, on that very same one, I kind of curled it up, didn't I? No biggie. We're not going to even think about it. Now, I'm going to get my chalk, and I'm going to get my brush behind me. So, hold on. This is what I do whenever I want to... I'm sorry, I had my back to you. This is what I want to do. This is what I do for cheeks on most anything I make, okay? I get a Q-tip. Let me get my scissors out from under here. And years ago, and I don't even know if the company's still around. They probably are. It's called the Stencil Collection. And this is the website right here. If you want to take a... Hold your screen still and I'll hold it there for a second. These basically are chalks, okay? And so what I do is I take them out of the container and they're dusty. So when I say dusty, I mean like you're going to get little chalk powder in places probably. So they come out like this. And then you just open them and put the lid underneath. Or set the lid to the side. Okay, and it's got a little foam thing on here. Okay, now it's all different colors. And I'm going to bring this back over here by us so it gets a little bit... I'm trying to do all this on a teeny tiny space so that you can see what I'm doing here. Now, if you wanted, you could take one of the brushes like this, maybe the tiny one. I'm trying to think what I did with mine. Oh, I see them. Let me just get one of those. Now, what I would do afterwards is I for sure would, you run some water and clean it out. Just so you don't have to deal with, you know, that sort of thing. So I've got a bunch of these little brushes. And I have some teeny tiny ones that I'm like, I'll never use those. But we're about to, huh? Or you can use a makeup brush, you know. I'm going to use this little one. It'll be easy to wash out and everything. So I'm going to set that right there. Now, we're going to pull over here. I always use this pink one, as you can tell. But you could use some of the rouge colors if you wanted. But I like it to be easy to be pale. You know, I don't want it to be too much. So I'm just going to go in a circle right here. I'm not making it. I might have to use something darker. Doesn't seem to want to show, does it? Of course, this is wood. Let's see if we can try maybe some red. And hopefully I don't regret it. Okay, let's see what happens. Oh, it actually is working better. And it doesn't stay loaded in your brush a lot. So I'm just kind of doing like a half moon right there. And probably the first time I'm outside with it, the rain will take it off. But I just thought while we were doing it, we'd try. And I'm just doing it like a half moon right here. Like just above where her, or just about even with where her eye is. Can you guys tell it? On camera, you might not be able to, but I can see it over here. And you can do it, you know, as big as you want it. If you think it needs to be bigger than that, do it bigger. If you want it to be just circles, do just circles. You know? Either way, it works. Okay, now, like I said, this may not be real visible to you guys, but let's see if I can give her some color around her eyes. Just a little. See how fast the ink or the black acrylic paint on her face. See how fast it dried? It was super fast. All right. It's not perfect, but hey, neither are we, right? Okay, so that part is done. And what I want to do now, I'm going to bring out some gold bells that we have right there. And I cut off a bunch of different white ribbons. So this is lace, vintage lace. It's old. And then I had just some satin ribbon. And then this was in the Christmas wrapping paper. It's just like glittery ribbon that they have like at Michael's or Hobby Lobby or something like that. I'm going to move this chalk out of the way so I don't get it all over me. So what we're going to do now is we're going to actually start. I don't know which one to start with. I'll just be honest. But I think I'm going to start with this wide, harder to relax ribbon. And you just, you know, I didn't measure how long it is. But I want it to come way down to about right there. Like would be our waist. You know what I'm saying? And I'm putting it around the back. And I'm kind of folding this over. See? Just like that, so you really can't see that the back is boring. See, I'm kind of putting a crease in the middle a little bit. If I can't get it to stay on here, then what I'm going to end up doing is using some hot glue behind the neck, okay? So that, you know, it stays on. But I think we should be able to tie it and have no problems. Now, the one downside is I want to tie all three together, okay? So we got that one on here. Now we're going to put the lace, which you got to remember there's a front and a back to lace. So let me find the difference. This is the front. So we're going to go behind the angel. And we want to make sure the front side, got to pull a lot. Let me get a bunch pulled over first. You want to make sure that the part you're seeing is the better part of the, or the front part of the ribbon. Okay. So, and you want to put them together at the bottom and make sure they match. Now, I really tried not, if I had a measuring tape, and I don't, believe it or not, I would give you the measurements for this. If I had to guess, let me get my ruler. It's probably 12, 24, it's like, I'm thinking, let me add it up here. 24, it's about 32 to 35 inches of each of these ribbons. If you wanted to put color in there, you could. I personally don't want any color in there. Now, we've got this, and I'm going to go ahead and get it even on each side, and I'll clip the ends once we get it all pretty and all on. So this is going on last because I want to be able to, I'm sorry, I hit the camera. Okay, I want to be able to put some bells on here. So we're not going to tie this one yet. Trying to think. Let me back out so you can see. I don't want it to be where you can't see. Wrong way. Out. That's as far out as I can go. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and string some bells on this. Okay. And see what happens. Now, these are not as big as the bells. The lady the lady that did it, the owner. This is smaller bells. Her bells were probably twice as big as one of mine. And these are not tiny bells. As you can see, they're about probably 3/4 to an inch around. So hers was, she only used 3. So I'm thinking, I'm trying to find my little stabber so I can stab this through. You know, see if we can get it through here without tearing it completely up. So there we go. Now, I usually like to do odd numbers. So let's see how our lace looks once we, you know, we're really going to want it further down here because we're going to want to tie it around her neck. So what we'll do is we'll start by putting 1 on the end so we know about where we want them, right? And go from there. So my grandkids are here this weekend. They have gone downtown Branson to play and have some fun. Okay. All right. Now, we got 2 on here for now. We'll end up with more, but we want to attempt to tie this. I have no idea how easy or hard this is going to be. Just so you know. So, you know, I wanted it to kind of look like, I wanted the lace to kind of look like a collar. And we've got a lot of bulk going on because, you know, it is bulky. I'm kind of wanting to keep the silver underneath because it is going to show. But at the top, I want it to stay underneath. Now, if we can keep our shoulder looking like that, it will really be pretty. Okay, so here we go, and we've got a lot to flip through there. Probably more than we'll need, but we can use whatever is left over on something else. I made sure when I started I had enough for 2 angels. Because I want to do a second angel. I have 2 front doors, and you know, when you open your front door, you want to put 1 on each door. But if you only have 1, you only have to worry about 1. These are like, these angel boards are about, I want to say $15. you know, and then just your tacks. So, and you can order them online, and I'll try to find the link. It's called clear something. So I'll find out and let you know. I'm going to make this looser right here so that it kind of looks like a collar, you know, just like that. Now, we're going to attempt to do the bow. You know, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of working with this to get it to look like we want it. And I'm thinking I might want to put it up all the way to the neck, because otherwise, what are you going to tie your bow to, right? So let's just see what happens when we do that. Oh, where did you come from, Belle? Okay, here we go. Now, that looks pretty pitiful, doesn't it? And this one wasn't involved in the whole activity. But I'm not going to worry about it because we'll just have to play with it all and get it all to hang right. And then you just add glue where you want it to stay. If all else fails, just glue it down. Okay, now we got a bell up here. Let's put you somewhere up in here too. So, yeah, this, I'm going to kind of bring it up. Can you guys still see? Let me see. Yeah, probably better, right? All right. So, let's put it right here. Let me prop something in front of it. Kind of keep it up there for me. I don't know how much that's going to help. All right, so see, you've got this bow. You want to work your bow just like you would in any situation to get it to look as good as you want it. If you don't care, then you leave it. It's up to every individual. Now that this is where I can separate it and make it look nicer, you can have it dangling, you can have it not dangling, however you want to do it. Like you can do it like they're all tied differently. Like I don't want that sticking out, so I'm going to put it down inside behind. Will it look better? Probably not. Nope, it doesn't. So let's work with it here. I'll just turn it around and get it underneath. You know, and some ribbon does tie nicer than other ribbons. So you just kind of have to work with it. Make it bigger, then come back and pull it in and work with it till you get it where it's okay. You know, it's going to be, it depends on where you're going to hang it. But I probably will put mine on the front door. It's covered up, but you're still going to have bugs and dust and all that kind of stuff. Now, and then you want your ribbon here to lay nicely down the front of your angel. And, you know, when you have ribbon or lace like this, you're not going to get it to cooperate as well as you would like ribbon, you know, like if you were using ribbon. Now, somehow, I'm going to pull this through. There we go. And this one is pulled through so we can put bells on here. Now, where did my other bell go? There it is. We're going to see if we can tie these bells, these first ones on. And then we'll add more as we go down. There we go. Get up there. Make yourself known. This is not as easy as it looks or doesn't look. Depends on how you want to look at it. It's not as easy to get, because they cross over each other, so it's not as easy to get a beautiful bow. But a close beautiful might be good. And we'll see what we end up with. Okay, so I'm tying this in a double knot right here at the top, so I can get those two bells in there. See? Now, I did still, I'm going to hold it up for a second. I was able to get not as beautiful as I would like. I'm just going to be honest. How do you do that? How would you get it to be prettier? Not an easy answer because of the lace, mostly. The lace is an odd shape. So you might have this part of the lace down, and you might have part of it up and the back of the lace. So there's no real way to, I finally got this to come down, so that helps. If I can get this one to come down, that's not bad. I almost feel like if we had a double lace or something up here, maybe it's this I don't like. So let's see what happens if we pull that. We might tie it separate. I want it in there because I think it needs the glitter. But now see, that time it pulled the bow in. But we're going to see if we can straighten it up and get it just the bow back out. And it might end up looking nicer. Whoops! Sorry, guys. Let's see. All right. Put this up here. I'm still not happy with the bow or the lace on this side. It'll be better once I can get it to do what I ask it to do. Like that's going to happen. Okay. Now we've got this part here, which I'm going to straighten that up. Put it underneath. Put this right here, which I like better. This right here. Now, we've got to make these bells. This needs to be underneath. And so what I'll probably do is glue it to stay under here. And you know that when you do a bow like this, it's going to be floppy. There's no wire. If you wanted it to not be so sloppy, you could use wire instead. Okay? But it's like to each its own. So we're going to put some more bells. We're going to have more bells than those little baby things, right? Whoops. Not inside the bell, through the little hoop. There we go. And if a person wanted to, you could just stitch these bells. But why go to all that work for just, you know, one Christmas project? I'm kind of like, make it easier. And I may put several down here. And we'll just see how it looks at that point. And every time I add 2 bells on here, I'm going to maybe tie a knot. We'll just see how it does. Of course, you know that things never do exactly what you want them to do. So I'm going to put that behind there, put this in front, and try to tie those 2 in at least 1 knot. Yeah, see, because then they start having like a look. Excuse me. All right, now. Okay, now let's put a couple more. You could use multiple colors. You could do, you know, this is the funny thing about these particular bells. They are they have a silver and a gold look. So one minute, or one way you look at them, they look silver. You look the other way, they look gold. So they're silver gold. I think being up against the brown tones from the Distress gel, it does, you know, kind of give them a more, yeah. And see, of course, it's heavy, so it's going to want to fall whichever way it can get to get the best. I really think it would be nice to have a nicely tied bow. But honestly, this one looks like the ladies looked, except she had no face. And she had less bells, but they were bigger. So I want these to, what I'm wanting is for these to just kind of hang down like one big blob of bells. You know what I'm saying? That's the goal. This video should not be super long because we're almost there. I would have liked this to maybe be tighter. And I don't know if that will make a difference. We might try. We'll figure out something. I will eventually. I'll put it that way. Okay. Let's do one more. So all I did after I let the angel dry after the first video, all I did was sand the edges of the music sheet. I let everything dry overnight. And then I just sanded the edges and then just brushed on some more of the medium, which was just, I just used one coat of the Vintage Photo Distress ink, or Distress gel, I should say. So, yeah. I just want to make sure I have plenty gold to go on the other one. The other little angel that I plan on buying while I'm there. I know she's selling them because she put the angel one up as an example. So, you don't show an example unless you're going to have the product, right? So, they're pretty popular, I think. Oh, now see, I like that very look. And I think that's plenty. They finally come to a point. See, they're kind of like at a point. Almost look like a bunch of grapes. And we're going to tie. I double tied it there. And then we're going to tie a bow here. To make sure. Not a beautiful bow. Again, this does not have wire in it, so you never get perfect bows if it doesn't have wire. I'm going to trim this. I don't want it that long. And, yeah, that part is done. Now, let's see what we can do. I don't know if tying this twice is smart, but let me just see what it looks like. Because sometimes a big bow can be... oh yeah, I like that better, don't you? Tell me what you think. Do you like it better before or after I tied it twice? I mean, I can always change it. I want the edge of my ribbon pointing down, this part. But I think, now this one's not cooperating. I don't guess it matters, does it? At least it's the size I want. See, I didn't want it long, super long and floppy. I just wanted it to kind of be the size it is right now. And really, if I want, I can do away with the bow on this altogether. Let me tie one more knot. Okay. And, whoa, sorry guys. I'm trying to keep it where you can see what's going on. I don't even know what's going on. Okay, so here we go. I'm trying to think, do we want to just cut these off. Yes, we do. And I think in the long run, it'll look better. Okay. Because I think having all those strings is too much. Now, am I happy enough to cut off the edges of this? Well, I think we probably have done the best we can do. What I think we should do is glue these. But I'm still wanting to play with this, so I'm going to lay it down and see if I can't get it to lay better. And if I can get it to do what I want it to do, then I can glue it in place. But that's the wrong side of the ribbon, and it doesn't want to lay like that. So let's go back where we were and try one more time. So I think we can either pin this in place or glue it in place. And I may pin it, because what if through the winter it, you know, all comes out and I decide I want to. So this will end up pinned, and then I will decide the length that I want to do the other two sides. So what do you think? It's not much. I mean, it's simple. I think, whoops, I think I'll be off camera playing with it, trying to get it right if I can. And if it looks a whole lot better, I'll show you. But I really think this is exactly how it's going to end up looking. And we're going to cut it off about here. Okay. It's this left side that is the culprit. Look at it. It just wants to. And I'm thinking if I can get this whole left side turned. I tried that a while ago and I couldn't get it to do it, but now it looks like it is. Look at that. Much better. Much, much better. We'll probably still need pins, but it does look better than it did. Okay. I'm happy now. I'm much happier now. Now your bells are kind of all over the place. You just got to play with them till you get them where you want them. Let me get a couple pins. If I can find them. Here is one. Just using safety pins. Let's see. I think I'm just going to pin it like behind where it can't be seen. Now, if we can see it, yeah, I may just glue it. I think I'm just going to glue it. Okay, I think I'd like that better. Okay, so I'm not going to glue it on camera. I'm just going to glue behind the bow and just attach it to whatever will let it hang correctly. And you'll find that spot when you're ready. And on this down here, let me see if you can see there. If so, I'll cut it. If not, yeah. See, really, ideally, if this lace could have been turned out, it would look better too. So like, you know, on this side, if you could get it to go like this, I think I'd like it better. And I might still be able to do that. We'll just play with it and see. All right, guys. This wasn't much of a video, but I knew some of you were interested in seeing how the bow looked. Can't brag too much on it, but yeah, see, it is working. I can bring it out. So it just really just needs to be played with. and I don't want to waste your time watching me play with it. So this is pretty much how she's going to look. If you were looking at her, let me move this. If you were looking at her from this way, she, you know, and I'm going to cut it off about right down here. So almost out of line. All right, guys, I hope you had fun in this short video. I just thought I'd turn it on while I was doing this. And we'll see you in the next video. Subscribe if you haven't. Bye.